There's a lion skeleton buried in Germany with a hole in its rib sand. It wasn't made by teeth. This isn't a nature documentary. It's a murder scene. And the killer? A species that was supposed to be extinct long before true big game hunting began. In the sleepy fields near modern-day Seedorf, a team of archaeologists in 2023 unearthed the partial remains of Primalon, a long-gone cave lion species, frozen in time for nearly 0 years. But the shock wasn't in finding the beast, it was in the wounds. Fine, careful cuts marked the bone, and one rib bore a hole so deep and precise it matched a wooden spear. This wasn't scavenging. This was strategy. We always imagine Neandrian Searly humans often confused with their Neanderthal kazinzas chasing prey that ran away, like bison or deer. But this shifts the entire script. They weren't just avoiding predators. They were eating them, including Primalon, a lion that dwarfed today's kings of the savannah 10 feet long, 800 pounds, more tiger than lion, and absolutely not on anyone's lunch menu. Until now. Primalons were apex predators across the Ice Age steppes, with some slightly smaller but just as deadly. Their usual diet? Pretty much anything that moved, including maybe even the occasional hominin. Fast, fierce, and with zero patience for threats, they were legends with claws. So the idea that one ended up on a spit thanks to a Neandrian? That's not just bold, it's bananas. Now, we know that the humans who replaced Neandrians later used lion parts in rituals and art, but when it comes to direct contact, like stab it before it eats you, kind of contact, there's been barely any proof. Until Seedorf changed everything. The bones belonged to an elderly male lion. Tests on the skeleton revealed unmistakable signs of butchering and a fatal injury. A cracked, crushed rib pierced by a spear. This wasn't a lion that died in its sleep and got picked apart. This was targeted. A spear thrust, not a throw. The depth, size, and damage ruled out any accidental gnawing or post-mortem tampering. It was kill first, questions later. Recreation showed the spear likely had a hardened wooden tip and was driven into the lion while it was down, maybe resting, maybe wounded. Either way, the Neandrian got close, too close. Imagine it. No rifles, no tranquilizers. Just a wooden point, frost-bitten fingers, and a heart pounding hard enough to echo off the ice. What was he thinking? He wasn't modern. He wasn't primitive either. Just human, standing a few feet from a breathing, blinking monster. That lion didn't care about history books. It cared about the next meal. And unless the Neandrian acted fast, it would be him. No armor, no team, just nerve and timing. He lunged, the spear struck, the beast fell, and history was made. We can't feel what he felt, but we can see where he stood. That rib, still cracked. That puncture, still sharp. We can examine the same bones he pierced with his bare hands and raw instinct, and realize, for once, we're not guessing what might have happened. We're standing at the scene. Every history book says the Neanderthals. But this is a Neandrian. One man, one spear, one moment, and it changes everything. A sharpened stick doesn't sound like much until it's the only thing standing between you and a 2-meter murder machine. The wooden spear might seem primitive, but the Seedorf line reminds us, simple doesn't mean weak. These weapons weren't for show, they were deadly. No fancy stone tips, just fire-hardened wood, muscle, and precision. Even in amateur hands, they could go deep. In Neandrian hands, devastating. Short, sturdy, and designed for ambush, Neandrians didn't just survive, they ruled. With a spear, they weren't prey. They were the ones to fear. Still, imagining a face-off with a cave lion? Terrifying. No second chances. Miss and you're meat. So why risk it? What makes someone attack a lion? We can't ask them, but we can guess. Maybe it was easy pickings. The Seedorf lion was old, probably limping from past injuries. Maybe they found it weakened and finished the job. Meat is meat, after all. Or maybe it wasn't that simple. Maybe this lion wasn't just old, it was dangerous. Think of the Champawat tigress. Over 400 people dead before she was finally stopped. Broken teeth pushed her toward easier prey humans. Could the Seedorf lion have done the same? Maybe it was hunting Neandrians, not the other way around. Maybe the kill was personal. But to understand the lion's place in our story, we need to look further. Because something changed when Homo sapiens took over. The lion went from threat to symbol. In the Chauvet Cave, over 30,000 years ago, artists painted lions not as monsters, but with grace, detailed, emotive, majestic, not doodles portraits. And in Lascaux's Chamber of Felines, lions twist into surreal positions, even shown pierced by spears. Were they remembering battles, dreaming them, or weaving something stranger myths? The wildest relic of all? The Lowenmensch, the Lion Man. Found in a German cave, carved from mammoth ivory, this foot-tall chimera stares back at us from 40,000 years ago. Human body, lion head, a creature born from imagination, patience, and over 370 hours of carving with stone tools. That's not a toy, that's devotion. What it meant, shaman, god, spiritus lost to us, but its very existence proves something. The lion wasn't just feared, it was revered, worshipped, blended into the human story. Neandrian times don't show the same flair for symbols. Their record with lions is all business competition, maybe conflict, no clear myths, no ivory hybrids, just raw survival. But the Homo sapiens who came after, they didn't just defeat the lion, they made it immortal. Lions didn't just evolve through natural selection, they went through a rebrand. Once feared predators, they morphed into sacred icons. That change tells us something deeper. Humans weren't just seeing animals differently, they were starting to see themselves differently too. Across cultures, lions have been more than muscle and menace. Among the Maasai of East Africa, lion hunting was once a proving ground. Not about food, not even territory, this was about guts and glory. A young warrior who faced a lion earned more than a meal. He earned a reputation. The mane might end up as a headdress, the claws as jewelry. Not decorations, declarations. Meanwhile, the San people of southern Africa took a more tactical approach. They didn't wrestle lions, they outweighted them. When a pride finished feasting on a fresh kill, the San would sneak in, chase them off, and steal a portion. Not brute strength, just guts, timing, and a PhD-level knowledge of lion behavior. It's a different kind of bravery, but no less intense. Two approaches. One head-on and symbolic, the other sneaky and strategic. Both showing how lion encounters were woven into more than just survival. They meant something, socially, personally. Territory wasn't just land, it was reputation. This relationship wasn't born yesterday. It has roots. At the Einhornhöhle cave in central Germany, dating back almost 200,000 years, yes, before Seedorf researchers found the bones of a cave lion paw. One bone had tiny, purposeful cut marks near the base, exactly where you'd slice if you were trying to keep the claw attached to the skin. In other words, someone didn't just want the meat. They wanted the claws too. Why? Maybe the same reason Roman standard bearers later wore lion skins. Power, symbolism, flex. If you're marching into battle under an eagle, you want everyone to know you're not scared of lions. You wear one. So imagine a Neandrian draped in a lion pelt, claws intact. That's not just fashion, that's status. He didn't need to explain anything. The message was already stitched into his shoulders. I faced what you fear and I won. More and more evidence suggests Neandrians weren't just grunting around. They were decorating themselves, collecting fossils and shells, even using pigments. The guy who wore lion claws might also have had a necklace of eagle talons. These weren't random trinkets. They meant something. Maybe respect, maybe ritual, maybe just cool factor. To us, it might seem strange. Why would someone risk their life for a claw or a pelt? But then again, People today spend fortunes on watches or rare sneakers. So, is it really that different? Picture this. A seasoned Neandrian male encounters another group while out scouting. He says nothing, but his cloak heavy with lion fur and bone says everything. No need to boast, no chest thumping, just presence. And in that world, presence was everything. A lion pelt might seem like a fashion statement from 50,000 years ago, but it tells us something enormous. It flips the script on how we've seen Neandrians for generations. No longer just scavengers chasing reindeer and horses, this is evidence of a species that stared apex predators in the face and didn't flinch. To hunt a lion takes more than muscle. It takes planning, teamwork, nerves of steel, the very traits we hold up as human. This wasn't just about meat. A lion pelt, especially one with claws, intact meant something. Maybe status, maybe fearlessness, maybe both. Whatever the reason, when a Neandrian wore it, the message was loud and clear. I earned this. And then there's the moment itself. Picture it. The lion, cornered and growling, preparing to strike. Across from it, a Neandrian, spear low, eyes fixed. This isn't just a survival story. It's a transformation. A test. A declaration that humans weren't just reacting to nature. They were rewriting its rules. They didn't flee from the predator. They became the predator. We're only beginning to grasp how complex Neandrian life really was. Jewelry, pigments, cave, our tanned, now this. More stories are still buried beneath our feet, waiting to be unearthed. And every time we dig up a new one, we're forced to rewrite what we thought we knew. Dig this kind of stuff, pun 100% intended. Hit like, subscribe, leave a comment about what you want to see next, and smash that bell so you never miss an Ice Age ambush.